Welcome to Alabama News Network at noon here on CBS 8 and the CW. I'm Olivia Deas. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news at noon, rain has finally moved into the state after weeks of drought. Another wave of wet weather is on the way, and there's a chance it could turn severe. Meteorologist Alicia Wilson has been tracking the line of storms and joins us now with the latest. Alicia.
That's right, Olivia. You know, during the overnight, we had some strong winds and some heavy rainfall. We didn't have any damage across our area. Now we're starting to see a bit of a lull in the activity. There are a couple of isolated showers out there, but the main system is still well off to our west. We're going to see a couple of more isolated to scattered showers, possibly even some thunderstorms as we head towards this afternoon. But the main event will be headed our way later on tonight and early tomorrow morning. So far, we've picked up anywhere from 1/4 inch of rainfall to over an inch in some spots like Alexander City, where they were just shy of 1 3/4 inches and 1.86 inches. In Demopolis and Greenville also picked up some rainfall, but they're having a little trouble with that sensor there. The temperature is still on the mild side at this time, where we haven't had any rain like in Ozark. They're sitting at 80, at 72 in Montgomery, and we've got some upper 60s from Demopolis to Selma. We'll warm it up into the upper 70s for today, seeing a couple of isolated passing showers here and there, but again, the main event happening later on tonight and early tomorrow morning. The winds are not going to be as gusty for today, but it'll still be a bit breezy at times out of the south and the southeast at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So here's what we're looking at as we head through the rest of this afternoon into early tomorrow morning. The greatest threat for seeing some tornadic activity is going to be to our west across Mississippi, and we'll see a slight risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms, mainly across the western and central half of the state, and that continues to fall off as you get a little bit farther towards the east into East Alabama. So as we look ahead to tonight and early tomorrow morning, the main threats for our area are going to be some heavy rain, some damaging winds, and of course we can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado. But again, the threat's going to be low, with the highest threat for seeing tornadic activity to our west and Mississippi. More coming up on the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms in our area coming up in your exclusive 8-day forecast. Olivia.
Thank you, Alicia. A fast-moving wildfire has burned dozens of homes in Tennessee and injured several people as officials scramble to evacuate danger zones. A hotel and several cabins were among the buildings destroyed as strong winds whipped up the flames near Gatlinburg. Danny Ruberti is in Gatlinburg with the latest.
Hit the gas! Hit the gas!
Cell phone video shows flames surrounding a driver evacuating the area of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, late Monday night.
God.
Fire threatened to block off the only road to safety.
Go, 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 go.
At one point, sparks flew over the windshield.
Almost every cabin in Chalet Village is burning to the freaking ground.
The driver says he was able to escape. It is unclear if everyone was as lucky.
Hit the gas.
Flames closed in on the Park Vista Hotel in downtown Gatlinburg. People trapped inside recorded video on their cell phones as the fire burned. The lights flickered on and off in the smoke-filled lobby where guests were forced to wear masks. Logan Baker was inside.
So they're keeping us in here for now, but the smoke is like really bad in here.
At one point, at least 30 structures in Gatlinburg were burning. The Mountain Lodge, a roadside restaurant, was destroyed.
Oh my God, it's so hot.
High winds caused the Chimney 2 fire, which began in the Smoky Mountains last week, to descend on surrounding towns. Drivers captured the fires cascading down the mountain as they were forced to evacuate. Earlier in the day, smoke blanketed Gatlinburg in an ominous cloud.
We're dealing with some very difficult situations here in Gatlinburg. That if you are a person that prays, we could use your prayers.
This Red Cross shelter is one of many locations where residents stayed the night fleeing the fast-moving wildfires here in Gatlinburg. 600 residents are registered here, and many of them don't know what they're going to go home to. Dandy Ruberti for CBS News, Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
And we're tracking the web with your comments on this story. Forest fires have burned and destroyed much of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. What are some of your favorite memories of this beloved tourist destination? Leave us a comment on our Facebook or Twitter page. Just look for Alabama News Network. Montgomery police continue their search for a missing man. Police say 67-year-old Brent Talley was last seen last Tuesday in the 300 block of Kingswood Drive. Police say he does have dementia and he was last seen in a long-sleeve brown plaid shirt, khaki cargo pants, gray sneakers, and a red baseball cap. If you have any information, call Montgomery Police at 241-2651. And Montgomery police still searching for 74-year-old Willie McCall. He was last seen on November 13th in the Royal Creek Road community in Montgomery. Authorities say McCall has Alzheimer's and a heart condition. Crime Stoppers is offering a $1,000 reward for any information that leads to him being found. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers 215-STOP. Scary moments at a local pawn shop after a truck crashes through the front of the store. This is some incredible video here. This is surveillance video of the crash that they sent to us by an employee. It was the Town and Gun pawn shop in Elmore. Employees say a log truck was making a turn at a nearby intersection. That's when a log extending from the back of the trailer swung around and hit a truck beside it. The impact apparently knocked that driver unconscious, causing the driver to veer off the roadway and crash into that store.
It was all split second, within seconds after he stood up to go investigate what the noise was. Truck's coming in the door, so it's he was very fortunate because it was heading right for him. So if he'd been sitting, I don't know if he could have got out of the way in time.
Elmore City Police Chief Thomas says the driver of the truck is being treated in the surgical ICU at a nearby hospital. President-elect Donald Trump is filling more positions in his cabinet. Kenneth Craig has the latest on today's announcements.
Vice President-elect Mike Pence was back at Trump Tower Tuesday morning after stating last night very important announcements would be made today.
It'll be a busy day. Stay tuned.
CBS News confirms President-elect Donald Trump has picked Elaine Chao to be Transportation Secretary following her meeting with him last week. Ms. Chao served as Secretary of Labor under George W. Bush. This morning, the Trump team also announced Georgia Congressman Tom Price to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. Price, an orthopedic surgeon, is a vocal critic of Obamacare.
This is lunacy. This is what happens when you put the government in charge.
In a statement, Mr. Trump said Price is exceptionally qualified to shepherd our commitment to repeal and replace Obamacare. But incoming Senate Democratic leader Charles Schumer called it akin to asking the fox to guard the henhouse.
The president-elect will also meet for a second time with Mitt Romney. They'll have a private dinner as Mr. Trump continues to mull over his pick for Secretary of State.
Other potential candidates include Tennessee Senator Bob Corker, with whom Mr. Trump meets today, and retired General and former CIA Director David Petraeus, who was in yesterday. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
President-elect Trump tweeted this morning that there should be consequences for burning the American flag, suggesting loss of citizenship or a year in jail. The Supreme Court ruled in 1989 that flag burning constitutes free speech. The late conservative Justice Antonin Scalia was part of the majority opinion. Mr. Trump has said he would pick the next Supreme Court justice in the mold of Scalia. Still to come on CBS 8, the USS Montgomery heading to the silver screen. We have details coming up in just a bit.